Good evening and welcome to another episode of Page Turner. Today we are going to turn pages which are fresh, which are innocent, yet which are very engaging. We are going to talk about two books, Bulbul's Verseletes and Bulbul's Fables, and these are books of poetry and stories. And to talk about these books, we have the author of this book with us, Sistine Menezes. Welcome, Sistine. And yes, you must have understood why I said today's pages are fresh and innocent, because Sistine is just 9 years old, and at the age of 9, Sistine already has two books published. So, Sistine, congratulations first and foremost, and tell us about your writing journey. Tell us, how did you start writing, when did you start writing?
I read different books and one day I thought writing my own. I started writing short and showing my stories to my friends, and then moved a little big and then put them in the form of 10 stories.
Okay, so you started writing stories first?
Yes.
And then you moved on to poems?
Yes.
Okay, do you remember the first story that you wrote?
Who Becomes King?
Okay, Who Becomes King? Okay, fine. And then you moved on to poetry?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So, can you tell us little about your poetries, about the topics that you cover in your poems, on what kind of topics you write?
Like on nature, mostly on nature.
Okay.
And then my family and etc. more.
Okay, fine. And I also read your poems on animals. You like to write about animals.
Yes.
Okay. So maybe can we listen to one of your poems? Yes. Will you read out one poem to us?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Wisdom. You might be foolish, you might be wise, and all this happens just under your eyes. You might be strong, you might be brave, that doesn't mean you always have to crave. You might have emotions, you might have pain, your sadness makes the cloud to rain. You might be heavy, you might be light, surrounding all of it in the darkest nights. Foolishness makes you be alone, just like a thoughtless crow. Wisdom is something you should own at this very point as you grow.
Okay, very nice. And Sistine, when you write your story or poem, who is the first person whom you go to and show the poem or show the writings?
I show first to my mother.
Okay, and she helps you with say corrections. You like being corrected, or you feel your writing should be as it is?
Yeah, corrections are like okay.
Okay, and who are the other people who help you in your writing, or who maybe advise you how better you can write?
First, my mentor, Father Matthew.
Okay.
Then the director and chairman of our school, Madam Leja and Sir Melvin.
Okay.
Then my English teacher, Teacher Lavita, Dr. Carlos, and my art sir, Sir Sujay, who did illustrations for my books.
Okay, and you are in your 4th standard now, right?
Yes.
Yes, so you must be having a lot to study as far as your regular syllabus is concerned.
Yes.
So how do you find time to write stories and poems? How is your schedule like, your day's schedule maybe?
Like, well, our school doesn't give us homework, so after I come home, then I start writing.
Okay, fine. And how is the support from your school, from your teachers or your friends in school? Do they help you? Do they encourage you?
They encourage me to write more.
Okay, and what about your friends? Do they bother you? Do they tell you topics to write on?
Yes, they come to me to write poems about their own topics.
Oh, nice. So you have written on topics that have been given by them?
Yes.
Yes, okay, nice. And tell us about the titles of these books. Did you choose them? You chose these Bulbul's Verseletes and Bulbul's Fables?
No, the titles were chosen by my parents.
Okay, fine. And what about the make of this book? Like, these books are very nicely printed. Yes, they are hardbound and they are very colorful. So you had anything in mind how your book should be published?
Yeah, I had in mind to make it like a hardcover to hold it, and then to be the font of the letters be big to make them visible clearly.
Okay, okay. And anyone else helped you in publishing, or your parents did the publishing?
My parents.
Parents did the publishing. Okay. And Sistine, you're also into singing, yeah, right? You like
Yes.
music. So has music helped you in writing these books, or maybe poetry?
Yes.
Okay. And what about your music, sir? You mentioned about him. So how was the encouragement from him?
He encouraged me to even write more when I grew up, and he once showed me how to write a song, like given the rules.
Okay.
So with those I started writing these 10 poems.
Oh, nice. Okay. So these poems, we can also sing them like songs. Is it possible to do that?
Yes.
Okay, great. And like I said, you like to write about animals. So
Yes.
you like animals, you have pets at home?
Yes.
Yes, what pets you
I
have?
have cats.
You have cats, okay. And what about the other animals that you have written, like earthworms and all? Is it out of your own observation, or how did you write about those?
Of my own observation.
Okay. So can you read out a poem on any one animal maybe, which is there in
Yes.
your book? Yeah.
My cat. My cat is very fluffy and very big. If she sees a thread moving, she'll catch it in her clutches. My cat is very brave. No matter how you scare, she'll just go away without an ounce of fear. My cat is very lazy and sleeps all day. She doesn't catch rats but just lays on the bed. My cat is a foodie. She loves milk and fish. She plays with birds and lizards. My cat is very mysterious. My cat is very loving. I like her very much. If you come to visit, just cuddle her a bit.
Nice. We'll certainly come to visit your cat, Sistine. Okay. And Sistine, there's one very interesting thing in your book, that is the glossary at the end. Yeah. So whose idea was it, and why did you include the glossary in
It
this book?
was my idea
Okay.
to, if children are not able to understand some big words, so I put a glossary behind.
Okay, okay. And I'm sure you read a lot, because it is
Yes.
impossible to write unless you read.
Yes.
So tell us about your reading habit. What do you like to read? What are the interesting books that you have read recently maybe?
I read the Bible,
Okay.
storybooks,
Okay.
and all the lessons what we have,
Yeah.
and etc.
Yeah. And why do you think children should read?
Because they should gain knowledge
Okay.
from books.
Right, right. And you also develop creativity through reading. That is how you started to write too, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And Sistine, what are your plans for future? What would you like to write in future? Or have you already started writing anything?
Like write some stories of the Bible, and even start writing books on fiction also.
Fiction also, yes. And I read somewhere that you are already writing a novel. Is it true? Okay. And what is the topic of this novel?
About in a forest, kind of a puzzle.
Okay, that's very interesting, Sistine. So all the best, and I hope we can
you.
read your novel very soon.
Yes.
And before we wrap up, I want you to read out one of your stories from your Bulbul's Fables for our viewers. Yes?
Yes. Wisdom defeats the pride of strength. Once there lived a cat who was very wise and a dog who was very strong. Both were best friends. One day, as they were taking a stroll in the jungle, they met a pack of wolves. The dog fought bravely but lost the battle. He ran away. Realizing the dog's limitations, the cat said to the dog, "Always being strong does not help. Sometimes we must be wise." The cat said, "I have a plan. I will go to the wolves. For sure they would chase me. You go and get a man from the village. I will bring the wolves there. The man will see and understand what is happening. He will beat and chase the wolves." That is what they do. The dog did exactly what the cat said. The wolves never returned. The cat taught the dog how the combination of wisdom, bravery, hard work, and the right advice helps overcome life's hardest challenges. Moral: Always being strong does not help. Sometimes we should be wise.
That's beautiful. And Sistine, before we end the today's episode, would you like to
Yes.
say anything to your viewers, to your readers, or the children like you who are watching this episode?
Yeah, I would say like to read books and gain creativity and imagination, and also try to write something.
I hope our viewers, especially children like you who are watching our show, gains a lot from you, gain a lot of encouragement from you, and together with reading, they also start to write stories and poems and maybe novels in future also.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you so much, Sistine. So a huge thank you to our viewers for showering the love you are showering on Page Turner. And today's episode was very special because we had a 9-year-old Sistine who spoke to us about her books, and I'm sure you must have loved the episode. Sistine's books are available in Confidant in Margam and Broadways in Panjim. So please go and buy the books and read the books and give your feedback to Sistine. And do not forget to follow us, Reads and Books on Instagram and Palash Agni Studios on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you so much. We hope to see you soon.